I opened my eyes to find a stranger staring down at me in his bed, his expression unreadable. I'd just made the biggest mistake of my life, or had I?
Maya's feet ached with a pain that had become her constant companion. 12 hours into her double shift at the Celestial Grand Hotel, she pushed her cleaning cart down the marble hallway of the penthouse floor. This was her third job this week. Morning shift at the diner, afternoon at the hotel, nights at the convenience store, all to keep her little sister in school after their parents died. The penthouse suite loomed before her. Suite 5000, the most expensive room in the hotel. $15,000 per night. Maya had cleaned it dozens of times. Always empty, always pristine. Mr. Blackwood, the mysterious billionaire owner, kept it reserved year-round, but rarely stayed there. She entered with her master key, expecting the usual untouched perfection. The suite was a palace of white marble and gold accents, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the glittering city. Maya moved through her routine mechanically, her body running on fumes and desperation. When she reached the bedroom, the massive four-poster bed called to her like a siren song. Egyptian cotton sheets, silk pillows, a mattress that probably cost more than her yearly salary. Maya told herself she'd just sit for a moment, just 1 minute to rest her screaming feet. The bed embraced her like a cloud. She sank into softness she'd never known existed, her exhausted body finally surrendering. "Just 5 minutes," she whispered, setting her phone alarm. Her eyes drifted closed. She didn't hear the alarm, didn't hear the suite door open 3 hours later, didn't hear the footsteps approaching the bedroom. Maya only woke when a deep voice said, "Well, this is unexpected." Her eyes snapped open to find a man standing over the bed, tall, broad-shouldered, wearing a suit that screamed wealth. Dark hair, steel gray eyes, and a face carved from stone. He wasn't angry. He looked curious. I can explain," Maya gasped, scrambling off the bed so fast she nearly fell. Her cleaning uniform was wrinkled, her hair a mess. "I'm so sorry, Mr. Blackwood. I was cleaning and I just sat down for a second. I've been working since 5 a.m. I didn't mean to." "Stop." His voice cut through her panic. "You know who I am?" "Everyone knows who you are, sir. You own this hotel. Half the city, actually." Maya's hands shook as she straightened her uniform. "Please don't fire me. I need this job. My sister, she's in high school, and I'm all she has. And if I lose this job—" "How old are you?" he interrupted, his eyes studying her with unnerving intensity. 23, sir." "And you work here full-time?" 3 part-time jobs, actually. This is my middle shift." Maya edged toward the door. "I'll go now. I understand if you need to report me." "Wait." Something flickered across his face. "You're exhausted. When's the last time you slept properly?" The question surprised her into honesty. "I don't know. A month? 2? Damien Blackwood moved to the window, his silhouette dark against the city lights. "I have a proposition for you, Miss Chen. Maya Chen. Miss Chen, I need someone I can trust. Someone who isn't after my money or connections. Someone real." He turned to face her. "I'm being pressured to marry by my board of directors. They think a family man appears more stable, more trustworthy to investors. I think it's archaic nonsense, but I'm tired of fighting them." Maya blinked. "I don't understand what this has to do with—" "Marry me," he said simply. "A business arrangement, 1 year. In exchange, I'll pay off any debts you have, set up a trust for your sister's education, and give you $5 million when we divorce." Maya's world tilted. This couldn't be real.
"You're insane," Maya whispered. "You don't even know me." "I know you're honest. You could have stolen from this suite countless times. You haven't." Damien pulled out his phone, typing rapidly.
I know you're dedicated. 3 jobs to support your sister shows character, and I know you're desperate enough to consider this." He wasn't wrong. $5 million. Her sister's education secured. No more triple shifts, no more choosing between rent and food. "Why me?" Maya asked. "You could marry anyone. Models, actresses, socialites." "Who would want something from me? Love, fame, access to my wealth permanently." His expression hardened. "I've been used before, Miss Chen. I won't be used again. You need money for survival, not luxury. That makes you predictable, safe." The word safe stung, but Maya understood. This wasn't romance. This was business. "What would you expect from me?" "Public appearances. Act like a devoted wife at events, galas, board meetings. Move into my penthouse. Maintain the illusion." He paused. "Separate bedrooms. No physical relationship unless you initiate it. After 1 year, quiet divorce, non-disclosure agreement, and you walk away wealthy." Maya's mind raced. This was crazy. Marrying a stranger for money? But wasn't she already sacrificing everything? At least this sacrifice came with a prize. "My sister can't know it's fake. She's 14. She deserves to believe in real love." "Agreed. And I want healthcare included. Real healthcare. I haven't seen a doctor in 3 years." "Done. I need a lawyer to review any contract." For the first time, Damien almost smiled. "Smart. I'll have my attorney send you everything tomorrow." He extended his hand. "Do we have a deal, Miss Chen?" She looked at his hand, then at his eyes. Cold, calculating, but not cruel. She shook it. "We have a deal, Mr. Blackwood." The next 3 weeks passed in a whirlwind. Maya signed a contract thicker than a phone book, every contingency mapped out. She quit her 3 jobs with relief, so intense she cried. Damien's lawyer was surprisingly kind, ensuring every clause protected her interests too. Moving into the penthouse felt surreal. Her bedroom was twice the size of the apartment she'd shared with her sister Lily. Damien had arranged for Lily to stay in a better neighborhood, a safer school district, with a live-in guardian he'd vetted personally. "You didn't have to do all this yet," Maya said, watching movers arrange furniture she'd picked from a catalog. Nothing felt real. "The engagement is being announced tomorrow," Damien replied from the doorway. "Everything must look authentic." He held out a small box. "You'll need this." The engagement ring inside made Maya's breath catch, a flawless diamond surrounded by sapphires, antique and breathtaking. "This is too much." "It was my grandmother's. The press will recognize it. That makes our story believable." His voice was clinical, but something flickered in his eyes when he slid it onto her finger. It fit perfectly. The announcement broke the internet. Billionaire Damien Blackwood engaged to unknown hotel worker, a Cinderella story. The press called it romantic. Maya called it terrifying. Photographers camped outside, social media exploded with theories. Damien hired a team, publicist, stylist, etiquette coach. Maya learned which work to use, how to walk in heels, what to say to nosy reporters. Through it all, Damien remained distant, but not unkind. He worked 16-hour days, came home late, barely spoke. They were roommates playing pretend for the world. Until the night Maya found him on the penthouse balcony at 2 a.m., tie loosened, looking lost. "Can't sleep?" she asked softly. "I don't sleep much," he admitted. "Haven't in years." Something in his voice made Maya stay. They started talking. Small conversations at first. "How was your day? What are you reading? Do you want coffee?" Maya learned Damien took his black, no sugar. He learned she was addicted to terrible reality TV. She discovered he played piano at night when he thought she was asleep, haunting melodies that made her chest ache. He discovered she volunteered at an animal shelter on weekends, even now. "You don't have to work anymore," he said one morning over breakfast, their first meal together. "I'm not working. I'm volunteering. There's a difference." Maya buttered her toast. "Those dogs didn't ask to be abandoned. Someone should care." Damien stared at her like she was a puzzle. "You're nothing like I expected." "Neither are you," Maya admitted. Behind the cold facade was someone exhausted, lonely, and far more human than he pretended to be. The charity gala was their first public appearance as an engaged couple. Maya wore a gown that cost more than her old car, her hair professionally styled. Damien in his tuxedo looked like he'd stepped from a magazine. "Nervous?" he asked in the limousine. "Terrified." His hand found hers, warm and solid. "Just follow my lead. Smile, let me do the talking." He paused. "You look beautiful, by the way." Maya's heart skipped. It was the first personal compliment he'd given her. The gala was overwhelming. Champagne, classical music, people with more money than some countries. Damien kept his hand on her lower back, guiding her through conversations with business partners and board members. They performed their roles perfectly. Until they danced. His arms around her felt different than the professional touches. Maya looked up into his eyes and saw something that made her breath catch. This wasn't acting. Not entirely. "Maya," he said softly. Just her name. But the way he said it changed everything. The shift happened gradually, then all at once. Damien came home earlier. They ate dinner together, watched terrible TV while he pretended to work, secretly invested in whatever drama Maya was following. He taught her piano. She taught him to laugh again. One night, 3 months into their arrangement, Maya found him in his study, head in his hands, papers scattered everywhere. "Damien?" "I'm fine," he said automatically, his walls slamming up. "You're not." Maya closed the door, moving closer. "What happened?" "My father," he said finally. "He's threatening to challenge my position as CEO. Says I'm getting soft, making emotional decisions." His laugh was bitter. "He means you. Marrying you. He thinks you're making me weak." "Am I?" Maya whispered. Damien looked up, his eyes intense. "You're making me remember what it feels like to be human. If that's weakness, I'll take it." He stood, crossing to her. "Maya, this arrangement, I can't pretend anymore." "Pretend what?" "That I don't think about you constantly, that I don't wait to hear your voice, that I don't fall asleep wishing you were in my bed instead of down the hall." His hand cupped her face. "Tell me to stop. Tell me this is still just business." Maya's heart thundered. Every logical thought screamed this was dangerous, complicated, but her body leaned into his touch. "I can't tell you that." "Why not?" "Because I'd be lying." Damien kissed her like a man starving, and Maya melted into him. They stumbled toward the bedroom, discarding clothes, breaking their careful rules. When he laid her on his bed, the same bed where they'd first met, Maya felt the poetry of it. They made love with desperate tenderness, months of tension finally released. Every touch felt like a confession, every kiss an answer. Everything changed after that night. They stopped pretending this was temporary. Damien held her hand without cameras present. Maya wore his shirts in the morning. They existed in a bubble of impossible happiness. Until Damien's father made his move. The expose hit every major publication simultaneously. Billionaire's marriage built on lies. Exclusive documents reveal contract marriage for board approval. Every detail of their arrangement leaked. The money, the timeline, the divorce clause. Maya's phone exploded with calls. Her sister Lily called crying, feeling betrayed. The press camped outside, shouting questions. Social media crucified her. Gold digger, con artist, poor girl playing dress up. But worse was the board meeting. Damien came home that night, his face ashen. They're voting me out. My father convinced them the scandal proves I'm unfit to lead. He poured whiskey with shaking hands. I'm losing everything. The company my grandfather built, everything I worked for. I'm so sorry, Maya whispered. This is my fault. No. Damien pulled her close. You're the only real thing I have. But, Maya, I need to tell you something about why I really made that contract. He told her about his ex-wife, the woman who married him for money, cheated throughout their marriage, and tried to destroy him in their divorce when he had evidence about his father, who always chose business over family, who taught Damien love was weakness, about the loneliness that had hollowed him out until Maya fell asleep in his bed. He chose you because I thought you were safe, someone who couldn't hurt me, but you've done something worse. You've made me feel again, made me want things I swore I'd never want. His voice cracked. I love you, Maya, and I don't know how to fix this. Maya's world spun. He loved her, and everything was falling apart.
I have an idea, Maya said the next morning, her decision made after a sleepless night. What if I leave? Damien's head snapped up from his coffee. What? The board wants you to prove you're not compromised. I'm the compromise. Maya's voice was steady despite her breaking heart. I'll go. Public statement saying I married you for money, that it was all my idea, that you were innocent. Take all the blame. Your reputation gets restored, you keep your company. Absolutely not. Damien stood, fury in his eyes. I'm not letting you destroy yourself for me. You've already given me everything I needed. Lily's education is secured. I have enough money to start over somewhere new. Maya couldn't meet his eyes. This was always going to end, Damien. We both knew that. Let's just end it now, the right way. The right way? His laugh was broken. There's nothing right about this. I love you, Maya. You love me, don't you? That's why I have to go. Maya finally looked at him, tears streaming. Your company is your legacy, your family's legacy. I won't be the reason you lose it. You've sacrificed enough. Damien pulled her into his arms, and Maya let herself break. They held each other, both knowing this was goodbye. The press conference happened 3 days later. Maya wore a simple black dress, her wedding ring conspicuously absent. She read from a prepared statement, claiming she'd manipulated Damien, that the marriage was her scheme from the beginning. The lies tasted like acid. Damien watched from the wings, his face a mask of control, but his hands were clenched, white-knuckled. The board voted that afternoon. Damien kept his position. Maya signed divorce papers that evening. By sunset, she was gone, leaving only a note on his pillow. Thank you for teaching me I deserved more, even if that more couldn't be us.
6 months crawled by. Maya rebuilt her life in Seattle, far from New York's glittering cruelty. She opened a small bookstore cafe, something simple and hers. Lily visited on weekends, their relationship slowly healing. But the space Damien left never filled. Damien threw himself into work with destructive intensity. 18-hour days, expansion deals, mergers. His father approved, the board praised him. He was the perfect CEO again. Empty, efficient, alone. His penthouse echoed with absence. He couldn't sleep in his bed anymore. Maya's ghost haunted every room. You look terrible, his sister Caroline said one evening, cornering him at a charity event. You need to fix this. There's nothing to fix. She left. It's over. Damien's voice was mechanical. She left because you let her sacrifice herself. She loved you enough to walk away. Are you really going to let that be how the story ends? Caroline grabbed his arm. The brother I know doesn't surrender. He fights for what matters. That night, Damien couldn't stop thinking about her words. He pulled up his laptop, searching for Maya, found her bookstore's website, read every interview she'd given about starting over, watched a local news segment where she talked about second chances. She looked beautiful, sad, alive. Damien made a decision. Meanwhile, Maya was closing the bookstore when her phone rang, an unknown New York number. Hello? This is Patricia Morrison from Sterling Enterprises. Mr. Blackwood has asked me to inform you that he's stepping down as CEO, effective immediately. Maya's heart stopped. What? He's appointing his sister Caroline as his successor. He said to tell you that some things matter more than legacy. Patricia's voice softened. He's on his way to Seattle. I thought you should know. The phone slipped from Maya's fingers. He was coming. Damien was choosing her. Damien appeared at her bookstore 3 hours later. No security, no entourage, just him, slightly rumpled from the flight, holding a battered copy of Pride and Prejudice. You came, Maya whispered, her eyes filling. I let you go once. Biggest mistake of my life. Damien set the book on the counter. That's a first edition, worth about $50,000. I bought it because you mentioned it was your favorite. Damien, let me finish. I've spent 6 months in hell. My father finally won. I became exactly what he wanted. Cold, focused, successful. His voice cracked. And miserable, because success means nothing if you're not there to tell me about your day, to laugh at my terrible jokes, to remind me what actually matters. What about Sterling Enterprises? I gave it to Caroline. She's better at it anyway, always has been. Damien moved closer. I kept my shares. I'm still wealthy, Maya, just not drowning in it anymore. I want to do something different. Maybe invest in small businesses, like bookstores. Maya laughed through tears. You can't give up everything for me. I am not giving up anything. I'm choosing what I want. He took her hands. I want simple mornings with you, building something real, not just profitable. Maybe a family someday, if you want that. His thumb traced her ring finger, now bare. I want to earn you, Maya, not as a contract, as a choice, every single day. I love you, Maya said simply. I never stopped. Then marry me again, for real this time. No contracts, no end date. Damien pulled out a simple gold band, nothing like the elaborate ring before. Just us, building whatever life we want. Maya kissed him, tasting salt and hope and second chances. Yes, she whispered against his lips, for real this time.
And that's how Maya and Damien found their real happy ending, not in a contract or a penthouse, but in choosing each other above everything else. Sometimes the greatest love stories start with the biggest mistakes. If this story touched your heart, hit that like button and subscribe for more emotional romance stories that will make you believe in second chances and true love. Drop a diamond in the comments if you're Team Damien, or a book if you're Team Maya. What would you have done in their situation? Let me know below. See you in the next story.